I'm here with Adam Newman. Hi, Adam.
Hey,
how are you? So basically, we're here at the BlueFin Tamashii website booth at New York Comic Con. One of the things that I want to ask you right off the bat is that a lot of people in the U.S. starting to consider BlueFin to be more or less the mouthpiece of TokuNation for America. And now that's very vast difference than a regular distributor.
Right.
Now, would you consider them to be more of like a marketing aspect for TokuNation now, or are they just merely a distributor?
No, I think they're much more than a distributor. I mean, it's. I'm glad that people are starting to think that. I mean, they're our official distributor, but we only have one agent in the market. And I know there are a lot of questions some people might ask, why isn't this product coming through Bandai America? We and another department that is based in Japan, our hobby department, the way we do marketing has to come from Japan. We do things a very specific way. There is a lot of transparency with BlueFin, but a lot of the people working at BlueFin are just involved in distribution and talking to accounts and fulfilling orders. A lot of them are also involved in hyping our product on Facebook. One of the reasons why we chose BlueFin as our distributor is because they have such a loyalty to the Bandai brands and also the events. They run a caravan of a lot of events, 8 or 9 throughout the state. So it's not just New York Comic Con. They're down at Anime Expo, of course San Diego Comic Con, and on the West Coast, even in Seattle and Sakura Con, Midwest. So they travel the caravan throughout the U.S. And that's one reason, because for us, events are such an intricate part of marketing. To actually talk to our fan base and have them see our stuff and kind of feel the vibe on when they think about our stuff.
Now, one of the things that people talk about lately is that pretty much because of BlueFin's taking posts on Facebook, it kind of extended the life of the figure arts Dragon Ball line.
Right.
Now, how much say would you say the U.S. customers have now that BlueFin is in place? How much influence does the U.S. tokusatsu fans have in the future with Tamashii?
A lot. I'd say like 2 or 3 years ago, not much, but right now BlueFin is another thing they're involved in. Is we look at the U.S., we take polls on Facebook. We have a survey going on here on an iPad for the first time. We're looking at questions, and we're actively developing product for the U.S. market. And you brought up a really good example. Dragon Ball, if it weren't for the U.S. market, we wouldn't be making any figure arts Dragon Ball right now. None whatsoever, zip. Because the trend in Japan is really, really cold right now. But it's super hot here. So our entire Dragon Ball marketing right now is basically U.S.-centric. And I think it's going to grow out. We have other agents in other markets, Europe as well, and that's very popular in Latin America. But yeah, it's basically based here. And in Japan, the market is so small that it's only an exclusive. So the only way you could get it on the open market up to now for some of these recent releases like Trunks, the Comic-Con exclusives, Gohan. Upcoming we have Cell, which is Perfect Form, which is the high hopes for that one. The only way you get it in the open market is via BlueFin. So BlueFin's become kind of one-stop shop for that one with distribution. You mentioned Tokusatsu.
Right.
Talking about live action. Well, if I could jump to the kaiju aspect as well. A lot of the stuff we're doing right now with Godzilla basically is focusing on BlueFin. So Burning Godzilla, over there around that wall, we'll see you later. But also at San Diego Comic Con, we had an exclusive out there called Comic Con Explosion. So we're making Godzilla and kaiju product now for the US. And for Tokusatsu, very timely. Those two lines I just mentioned, those are 2 strategic products that we're basing off of US demand. So R&D is focused on US demand. And we're adding another one into the fold starting from 2013. We're actually starting today because we have some pre-sales of a Megazord. And that's Power Rangers, because the 20th anniversary is coming next year. So we're basing a lot of the R&D on that next year, basically based on US demand only.
Now, one of the things that I noticed is that BlueFin is starting to bring over items that are not licensed in the U.S. Like
when you're talking about Jetman.
Jetman, yes. Like Jetman.
Jetman, we have a license for. Okay.
But it's not Power Ranger.
No, it's not.
Right.
That wasn't a Saban license. That was we got permission from Toei to do that.
Right.
And that brings up is a big point, and I'm talking to Saban about this now. Is we have this demographic, basically your fan base, your viewers, the guys who look at your website, who really after. They know exactly what's going on in Japan. They know they want to see Go Busters right now. I mean, they're seeing it. They're streaming it. We also are making product for that. We want to bring it here, but it's not in the Saban fold as of yet. What can we do about that? For Kamen Rider right now, all of our licenses are direct from Toei.
Right.
So all the Force stuff, which is not syndicated here, but has a big fan base, we've been getting a license from Japan. One of the things that I'm really happy about is that Saban actually recognizes the adult fan base. They call them the super fan. And they're aware of that, and that's why they're working very closely with us. And we're brainstorming on what we can do. Power Rangers and Sentai are kind of a parallel phenomenon, but they're different.
Now, would you say the item that you premiere at the New York Comic Con, the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Ranger? Now, was that something Bandai did to appease the fan in the U.S., or was that something they already had in mind and just so happens?
It'd be kind of like I would be telling the full truth if I said that was completely U.S. It was kind of like killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
Because there's something we are considering doing it. We were considering doing that for Japan anyhow. Unlike Dragon Ball, one of the advantages we have with old Sentai stuff right now is that there is a base in Japan. But there are some titles, and we're asking right now, like Galaxy and Time Force and other things that really the demand is really low. But our Facebook polling says that it's high here in the U.S.
Right.
In that case, we may in the future have a product that we developed for the U.S. that's in the Power Rangers fold.
Right.
We should turn this way
yeah,
so you can see.
I know.
It's more appropriate, right?
I know, we keep moving.
You want to see the giant Megazord. We also unveiled the Megazord here. We dyed Boken from Bokanger.
Right.
What do they call that here? I forgot.
They call it Overdrive.
Operation Overdrive. Yeah. So we actually were going to do that in Japan in Tamashii Nations, our event there in 2 weeks. But it came out of the press early, so we debuted that here as well.
Excellent. And now I have some questions from our members on the site. One of them is H Figure All Kamen Rider Night planned for re-release in the near future? Because I think Ryuki was released through BlueFin, but Night was never announced.
No, we had a Night. As far as I know, we had a Dark Night.
I saw it at the booth, but I don't know if it was ever officially announced.
You're talking about the Kamen Rider
the regular Night one, yeah.
As far as I know, we have that distribution. I have to look back at it. I don't know if there's I have any information on reissues right now, so I couldn't tell you. We did do the Ryuki Drag Rider set.
Right.
We've never had any problems for licensing or not too many issues because it was actually Yuki as far as Dragon Knight.
Right,
because it was officially released in the States. Toei always gave us the green light for that. The issues we've had are more recent releases like O's, and we've had some issues that we had to work with, but we've worked them through.
Another question is that why have there not been more Soul of Chogokin line of Sentai mecha other than Battle Fever Robo?
You mean Soul of Chogokin like a
in
big,
terms
higher,
of in terms of
not super
combining
Gatai gimmick.
Exactly.
Okay, we haven't done anything. You're talking about for Sentai robots right
now?
The
only one that's done was Battle Fever Robo, which he's very much like a Mazinger. There's no combining aspect of it, so he was the only one that was released.
You know, do we do like the original Megazord like in a because the Super Robot Chogokin format and the Soul of Chogokin format are very different.
Right.
But we have to be very careful with this because the core Power Rangers fan right now is in their mid-late 20s. The Super Robot Chogokin is for that demographic.
The right price point.
Soul of Chogokin. I mean, I can talk marketing with the fans, and they know what I'm talking about.
Right.
We can't just throw out a $300, $400 product right off the bat and say, "Hey guys, here you go." But there may be some resistance.
Are you aware that there's a large, high-end audience?
Yeah, I do.
You know, in terms of statues, in terms of regular.
We're thinking about. You know, it's right now we just have SH Figure Arts and Super Robot Chogokin.
Right.
The reason why we're sticking with those right now is because it's hitting the right demographic age-wise that we're safe with, and the price points that are easy to break into the market with. We're looking at the 12-inch 12 PM. We're looking at 12-inch figures. We're looking at prop replicas. We just started doing that with the Akiba Rangers in Japan for the Moi Moi skin.
Yeah, which I have.
What if we did like a Morpher-Belt?
Right.
We're asking, one of the questions we have here is, what categories do you want to see? Like monster arts. We could basically do, some of the monsters that come up in there as well.
Excellent. For Zoo Ranger, for Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, it's a two-part question. First of all, as you know, in America, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Yellow Ranger is female and it's male in Japan. How is Bandai going about handling something like that?
That's a huge issue. You know, one of the fans came up to me. There's a guy I talk to a lot. He shows up every time at our booth, and I get great feedback. He says, "You should make a double set with the guy and the girl in the same one."
That would be great.
But the thing is, how do we appease Toei and Saban, the licensor?
My idea when
two different.
When someone brought it up, my idea was that the male one would be Tamashii web exclusive, and the female one would be like San Diego exclusive.
Right. Okay,
that's my thinking.
We have a lot of ideas for exclusives right now, and that's one of them that's on the candidate list because it was a guy in Japan.
So the second part of the question was that could Pink and Yellow Ranger be BlueFin USA exclusive, share Tamashii web exclusive? So
yeah, it's something we think about. That's a great idea. Thanks. No, we're thinking. Here's another one on a more extreme level. What about a character that's never been released in Japan, like Lord Zed?
Right. A lot of people are asking for Lord Zed.
If Toei gave us the rights for that? Because I mean, the demand in Japan would be really low. But could we do that as an exclusive there and just base that here? So we're asking questions like that as well.
Another question. We saw that you guys at TokuNation, they revealed a Kiba Ranger with human heads rather than helmet heads. Are there any other chance of unmasked heads for figure arts?
Unmasked heads is tough because there's actor likeness issues and that comes into place. Another thing is SH figure arts isn't about always facial detail. And the Japanese heroes, or the heroes that Japanese like, are always full cowl, not half cowled. So Captain America is not as popular as Iron Man or Spider-Man. It's for that reason. We always emphasize the masked characters. It's not a big part for interchangeable face parts. With Dragon Ball, it's an emphasis because that's anime and that's different. A lot of trunks, a lot of interchangeable face parts, a lot of animated expressions. For the SH figure arts based on live action, we don't really focus on it. You're dealing with a small scale. We aim for the accuracy. It's so hard to get it the face just right with something that small. You got to go build with 12-inch.
Has Tamashii considered Sun Vulcan for figure arts?
For a what?
Sun Vulcan.
Not that I know.
Okay. I guess this is a very technically designed question. Has anyone from Plex ever crossed over to Tamashii?
That's interesting. Nonaka-san is a big artist who's at Plex, and he was in our boys' toy department when Tamashii Nations wasn't Tamashii Nations, it was a team, and there's involvement like that. One of the chief producers who made the logo and kind of kicked off the whole thing, he's not in our department, but he went to Plex afterwards, so we're in touch with people at Plex, and Plex has such a history of robot design, and so yeah, we talk to them on a very regular basis. Okay,
another quick question. We see that there is some Tamashii Nation show exclusive. For example, Forza Effect parts, Darkness Tiger. Would those be available through BlueFin?
No. Any Tamashii Nations event exclusive basically is only at that event. If it goes overseas, there are certain cases where it does do that. Like there's a One Piece trend in Europe right now. We're thinking about bringing some of those over there. We'll announce it. We would announce it prior to the show if that happens. We've done something in the past, I think, where we've brought an exclusive or two over years back. But right now, the current ones that we have, the big event, it's our 5th year anniversary event that we have in 2 weeks. There's no plans to bring any of those here. It could happen in the future, though, at another event, but it would have to be one of our core categories. It would be, there's another one, D-Arts Mega Man. So D-Arts Mega Man or Godzilla, could be a Power Rangers one, or a Dragon Ball.
Okay, two questions that's not Tokusatsu related, really quick. One is Soul of Chogokin dead? We had noticed that there's not been many
it's alive and well. And we're thinking about pulling out something maybe 2013 that's going to be the ultimate. But you've got to look first, is it dead? I mean, behind me I have it's not a Soul of Chogokin, but it's the DX Soul of Chogokin Mazinger back there.
Right.
So that is the most complex, most deluxe Chogokin that we've ever made. But one thing you have to realize is Chogokin is like, why can't you do one every month? Well, I don't think our fans have that sort of pocket money all the time. And another reason is, it is the most in-depth process, which is like the R&D span for a solo Chogoki is like a full year. Well, Super Robot Chogoki is probably 7-8 months.
Right.
So we can't put out the volume annually.
And another question is that one of the Bandai Tamashii Nation product is Macross. Any chance of that coming to the States because of Harmony Gold?
You know, I haven't seen it happen. I don't even expect it in my lifetime. You know, it's something that it's just, it's like, what do you do? And it's super unfortunate. It's not just America. We can't release anywhere outside of Japan right now. And you think some people would settle their differences after 20 years. It's not the only incident like that, but it's probably the most painful one to watch.
Absolutely. We have a lot of Macross fans at TokuNation and over at TFW 2005. And we've been bleeding our wallets getting these items from Japan. And it's really hard. So one last question I'd like to ask you is that if it's possible for Tamashii Nation to have some kind of direct relationship with TokuNation in terms of releasing some news or doing polls, we would like to be a demographic since we're so tokusatsu oriented.
I mean, I just met you today.
Would you like to go steady, basically?
Yeah, basically. No, we work with a bunch of fan sites. What we like to do right now, and it's important for us, is, especially for me in my position, I need to read the market. And it's hard for me sometimes when people are buying off of Ami all the time, I can't read the market because it looks like it's sold out of Japan.
Right.
And then people have customer service issues. One of the things that's important to get across is where can you buy, like, officially. And another thing that I need to do to gauge on what the market size is actually our Facebook.
Right.
So what I'd like to do with you guys is, and I'll have BlueFin linked up with you, is really coordinate with our Facebook announcements.
Right.
Going back and forth.
Right.
And that's where basically my lifeline is, because I only get to the States only 5 times a year. I look around and see how the fans react, but I need to see what's going on Facebook as well. We need more fans on our Facebook site. So Tamashii USA is our Facebook page, and I'll have people be in contact with you about that one.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Adam, for your time. And we wish you guys all the success, and we're looking forward to more releases down in the future.
And thanks to all your fans for their continued support.
Thank you.